In this video, we're going to be taking a look at our new Easy Guides plugin for CorelDRAW. Now, I use guidelines a lot, and unfortunately, CorelDRAW doesn't give us great guideline tools. And so what we've done here is tried to bridge that gap a little bit. And I just want to show you some of the different functions here in Easy Guides. It's pretty basic to use, but I think you'll find there are lots of really great uses for guidelines. And with the abilities that Easy Guides gives you, it's going to be a lot easier to create guidelines. Now, I do want to tell you about this link on the bottom. If you click on that link, it'll take you right to our website. If you hold the Shift key and click on that link, that'll take you to our YouTube page where it has all the videos for Easy Guides. So first of all, let's take a look at the Detailed Guideline tab. Now up top it says Apply to Document, and that's because we don't have anything selected. So for right now, let's just type in, for example, 0.25 and hit Apply. And you can see very simply we get guidelines around the perimeter of our document at 1/4 inch. Now currently, Easy Guides is set up to either work in millimeters or inches. So for example, if I turned off inches and I typed in 100, then it would assume 100 millimeters. I hit apply, and that would be the result that you would get. There's 25.4 millimeters to an inch. So we'll go ahead and clear all guides. Now we can turn on snap to guides. So if we had guidelines, we can snap to them, and that will turn green to snap to guides, or not to snap to guides. So that's what that button does. Now also here in margin, we can do like, first of all, let's go back to inches here. So let's say I needed guidelines at 1/4 inch and hit a comma and at 1 inch for some odd reason. And for some odd reason, I need a guideline at the bottom 2 inches up, whatever it might be. When I hit apply, you can see we have all of our guidelines. We have a guideline at 1/4, a guideline at 2 from the bottom, and a guideline at 1 inch all the way around the perimeter. So very, very useful to have all that for us. Now over here, again, very simple. We have top, left, bottom, center vertical, center horizontals. Let me just show you how this works real quick. So just a basic shape, any shape. Obviously, if we hit top, we get a guideline at the top. And notice that it says leave selected. So that shape that we had selected is still selected. And then we could add more guides, bottom, left, right, center vertical, center horizontal. Pretty basic stuff, right? But it's actually quite useful. Now, if I hold down my Shift key and click on either center or horizontal, then it gives us both vertical and horizontal at the center, in either one. So Shift key, center vertical, gives us either one. So very handy when you need guidelines at a certain point rather than dragging from the rulers and all that monkey business. Now, where it gets exciting is really what this was made for. Notice that when we have an object selected, it says add the guideline to the selection. If we have more than one object selected, then we have an additional drop-down menu. It says each object. So if I choose each object, watch what would happen. I'm going to hit center vertical of both, and you can see it creates a guideline, center vertical of both. And there are times where that could be useful. Or I could select 2 objects, and then it's going to say to this current selection. And now when I hit center vertical, I'm going to hold my Shift key actually. Then you can see it shows me the center point as if those 2 objects were one. Again, definitely useful when you're doing certain types of layout work to find the exact center of a group of objects rather than each object individually. So pretty cool options there. The other thing that's really, really useful in my work, and the main reason I created this, was if I have 2 objects selected, I want to create a guideline from the center to the center. Whatever that angle is, I want to create a guide at that angle. So if I hold down my Shift key, I can click on Guide at Angle. And bam, it'll put that guideline right dead center, and whatever that angle is, I have a guideline at that angle. So that's pretty cool. The other option that I have, if I click on just Guide at Angle, then any 2 points that I click I'll click one here and one here. It will create a guide at that angle. So it's looking for two inputs, creates a guide at that angle. Now, then I had someone say, well, that's all great, but what if I wanted to create a guideline of a specific angle? So let's just type in 45 and click guide at angle. Now it's looking for one input. So anywhere I click, creates a guideline at 45 degrees. Now if I have an object selected and I do the same thing, let's do 36. Let's do negative 36, just so you can see this. Now when I click guided angle, I actually can snap to whatever it is I have selected. So that's actually kind of cool too. So I'll snap to the edge. Oops, let me do that again. Guide at angle, and it's looking for, there we go, snapped it right to the edge, and then we have a guide at negative 36 degrees. So you can see it's pretty straightforward how it works, but it is actually very, very useful when you're needing guidelines in certain areas. Defining certain guidelines will definitely make design process a lot easier. Now that just kind of gives you a basic overview of all the different options. I am going to show you how to actually use these guidelines. So I'm going to do some design work where we're actually going to use the guidelines, and you'll say, okay, now I see why that would be useful. And so we're going to share that with you in future videos, but this gives you a good overview of what Easy Guides is all about.